I'm going to be turning 30 in the next few days, and I thought to really share with you today the lessons I have learned in my 20s. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tommy, Fashion and Lifestyle by Tommy. If it's your first time here, hey, so nice to have you here. I create content about travel, fashion and lifestyle. If you like any of this, then you're at the right channel. Please do get to subscribe to my channel, give this video a thumbs up, like, share, and just comment. I'm 29 presently, and I was just really reflecting over the past days about the things that I have learned, the lessons I've learned in my 20s, and I really thought it makes sense to share it on here. And so I'm just going to be doing that today, and to be honest, it's in no particular order. They are just things that I really did reflect on, and it's not blueprint to live your life because it's personal, but of course I think that there are also things that you can relate with. I'm just going to be sharing and pouring my heart into this video. Let's go. The first thing I'm going to be saying and starting with is know yourself. Know yourself, know who you are. I realized that when I was 20, when I was in 300 level, and just really reflecting, I realized that I knew my values, I knew where I am from, I knew my strength, I knew my weaknesses, I knew things that I liked, I knew things I did not like, I knew things that I could do, and I knew things I could not do. So it really took away like pressure. Knowing who I am very early was something that really helped me in my 20s. I knew God, and this really shaped me. It shaped how I literally have lived my life over time. Like the friends I make, they were a reflection of who I am. I knew what to pursue, I knew what to do, I just knew my likes, I knew I liked fashion, so it was just okay for you to find me in places that had to do with fashion. I knew I liked politics, I knew I liked to be out there, I knew I liked talking. So those were like really things that shaped me and shaped how I grew in my 20s. I was always doing things that really could reflect and could portray who I am. Even my mental space, I know when I am burning out, I know things that drain my energy. I really could reflect on myself. If you don't know who you are, if you struggle with your identity, then definitely you will have challenges. So that's one major lesson that I really learned in my 20s. The next thing I'm going to be talking about is living a balanced life. I remember when I was in university, I was involved in so many activities. Like I remember in 300 level, then we would go to church, and then we had to wake up as early as 6 a.m. because the bus had to come by 7 a.m. to take us to church. I would come back, prepare for my exams, and also I was involved in politics, and people would still come and say, Timmy, please come and campaign for us. We need because I was quite popular, right? So I could really influence a lot of people and make them make decisions that would favor whoever I was supporting. So those were things that I was able to balance my education. I would come back, I had to study. I had a business going on for me. That was also important to say. So I could balance even my business. I knew when I had to go and do makeup jobs. Sometimes it took me like really waking up early. I knew how to balance that, come back, study, go to church. I've learned how to really balance my life. I'm not deficient in, maybe for example, you are very spiritual and then your social life is also deficient, or like your academics is not progressing. You make sure nothing is lagging. But one of the major lessons I really learned in my 20s is that live a balanced life. Don't let one aspect of your life lack because you are doing one too much. The next thing I really learned in my 20s is actually investing in myself. Like I mentioned earlier, I had a business going on, so I had to save from my pocket money, invest in myself. I went to learn how to do makeup, even though I learned makeup when I was like 18 or 19. But then when I was growing older, I knew that I had to improve on myself, improve on my skills. I went for upgrade classes to make sure that my makeup business was doing well, to make sure that I was actually improving on my skills. I remember I would go for different trainings. I would buy makeup products. When I make more money from my business, I'm investing it back to really make the business better. And investing in yourself, learning a skill, to be honest, sometimes is more important than getting a degree. Like I would say, all the things that has brought me money so far were not things that I studied in school. I've been doing it for my business, business, for my career. To be honest, get a skill, learn a skill in your 20s. Try to learn a skill, improve in yourself. If it's your business, improve. If it's your career, improve. And that's one thing that I'm so grateful for that I did in my 20s. Guys, the next thing is no one really has it all figured out. Trust me, I used to be so worrisome when I was in my 20s. Hey, after leaving university, what would I do? Where would I work? What do I want to do? But to be honest, nobody has it all figured out. I knew, yes, I wanted to do my master's, but I did not even have money to go abroad, right? I knew I wanted to have a makeup studio, but I didn't even know how I would open a studio or where I would get the funds from and all of those things. Trust me, when they ask you what's your 10 years goal, I'm sorry, I don't like that question, because I don't sometimes have it all figured out. Like, I'll marry at 25, I will be a mother at 30, I will be done, I'll be a CEO by 22, those things. Apparently, a lot of people don't have it all figured out, and it's okay to not have it all figured out. I don't know what next I'm going to do, even now that I'm about to clock 30, right? I don't know what's going to happen, but I also trust God, and I'm just like really walking towards my goal. I may not have the clear picture, but don't be an overthinker. It's just okay. Number 6, I learned to build good character and be humble. For real, my business in Nigeria, I wasn't like the best of the best makeup artists, to be honest. But one thing I really did was to be humble and have good character. I'll go on my knees, I'll greet you, even if you're younger than me. I would really respect you. I'll call you, yes, ma. I knew what I was doing. It wasn't like I was not bigger than these people. I did not know, but I just needed to have that good character so that next time they will call me. If any of my clients is watching this, I'm sure they can testify. Oh, that Timmy is so nice, like she's so humble. I would greet you, I would do the barest minimum for you just to make you feel good. Humility has really opened a lot of doors for me. That one thing I can say: be humble and have good character in your 20s and beyond. Number 7, I'm trying to really cut through all parts of my life. The next thing I'm going to be talking about is pretty much relationship wise, and it's that it's okay to walk away. I've been in relationships that I'm like, nah, this is not going to work, and I just walk away. I learned that even some friendship is just okay to walk away. Don't feel bad that you're walking out of a relationship or that a relationship didn't work out. It's just okay. It's not all relationships that are meant to last forever. I'm not saying that it should not be because of your bad behavior. You also need to really check yourself. If the fault is on you, it's still okay to walk out of relationships in your 20s. The 8th thing I learned is, God, I'm such a people pleaser. Like, you can literally say, hey, Tim, please, I need you to do this. I say, okay. Because I just wanted people to be happy, and maybe I still do it. But to be honest, to be really honest, it's okay to say no to people. And I'm learning that now. Like, I would go all out for people, and then I realized that people were not even doing that for me. And then I just realized I was just pleasing people and not myself, because at the end of the day, I'm bummed out. I'm not even happy about it because I just wanted people to see me in some kind of way. Now, I don't care if you like me, if you don't like me, and that's on your neck. That's your problem.
I owe nobody an explanation. I don't need nobody motivation. Now my happiness consign me. Happiness consign me. Now you consign me.
I'm selfless, and that's not to say I'm not selfless, but I do not want to please you because of something. I don't need to do anything to please you. Please yourself, please your God. And I really learned that, and I think you should also learn not to be a people pleaser. Period. The next thing I'm going to be talking about is actually start saving early. Start saving early and investing early. When I was doing my makeup, I really did save a lot, and it helped me because when I was going to travel, I didn't have to stress my parents so much because I had savings in my account. Maybe one thing I've learned is actually not just saving it alone, because actually the money doesn't make so much sense in your bank account, right? But rather investing is much more profitable. I'm still learning that, right? To invest on the right things. Don't just go and put your money into some stupid business, right? Make sure that you are not just saving money up in the bank, but actually investing. So what I would tell my younger self today is to start investing and not just saving money. Another thing I did was, when I was in Nigeria, I had a domiciliary account in which I used to buy dollars, and then I put dollars in that account. That really works for me. That's like another level of investment, right? Because the amount I bought the dollars then is not the amount that it is now. I wish I did more of that than investing in Naira. But for guys abroad, there are a lot of stocks like crypto and all of those things that you can invest in. Please do it at your own level of risk. Don't go and say, "Tell me advice." This was just something I learned in my 20s. 20s. Guys, brief, so brief. The 10th thing I've learned in my 20s is to be patient, that worrying doesn't change anything. I worry so much, and after I'm done with that thing, then I reflect that worrying didn't even make any difference, right? I would just stress myself. Thank God I never have blood pressure. Just be patient. Sometimes just breathe. Like, just breathe. I remember when I was going to travel, my visa wasn't out. I didn't have like complete money for the funds. There was no appointment date. I was worrying and worrying and worrying. But guess what, guys? Everything actually fell in place. Maybe that's one word for somebody out there today. Just be patient. Just breathe. Like, breathe. Take a chill pill. Trust God. Even the process of trusting God, there's patience in it. You cannot trust God if you're not patient, because God's timing is not our own. That's another point I'm going to be talking about, right? But we need to be patient. We just need to breathe. And guess what? Worrying is a joy killer. Like, it will just be worrying you, be sad, your face. You even get older worrying. I'm not saying you should not worry, but minimize it, because it actually doesn't change anything. Better still, be patient and put your trust in God, and then follow the steps. So my younger self, Thames, stop worrying. Worrying solves nothing. The 11th thing I learned in my 20s is do it afraid. Take a step of faith. I remember most of the things I did. Learning makeup, God, it was a leap of faith. When I was going to open my makeup studio, God, I was so scared. Will anybody come to my studio? Will they walk in? How will I pay house rent? You know, those are the boring things I talked about. But I still did it. I did it afraid. But guess what, guys? The result was awesome. I was going to come to Germany. I didn't know anybody, but I still went. I still did it. So I don't know what is in front of you today right now, if you're in your 20s or even above, that you're scared of doing it because of failure or something. Just do it. My appeal to you today is do it afraid. Take that leap of faith. God needs you to exercise your faith. You know, I just realized that it wasn't like I wasn't making money when I was doing my makeup business, but if I did not have that studio, there was no way that I could accommodate much more. So sometimes the capacity of what you can have also is determined by your container. Maybe it's now time for you to actually change your container, because if you're going to have more this year, then you need to have the capacity to take more, because God will not put, okay, now I'm preaching, but guys, take that leap of faith. The next thing I have learned is to build good relationship and network. Good. I cannot emphasize, when I was doing my makeup, I'm going to be talking about makeup, my career, because those are the things that I've done in the past years. I remember the first job I did, the first bridal job I did was because I did makeup for one of my friends in school. She liked it, introduced me to her aunt. The aunt liked it and gave me my first bridal job. That was networking. That was good relationship. How did I transition into tech? I knew I was just talking with somebody in a wedding like this. It was a wedding in my church, and the guy was just asking, what do I do? I say, I'm trying to transition into tech. I want to be a Scrum Master, but I didn't know. And he was like, oh really, what Scrum Master? Apparently he was a Scrum Master. God bless you, okay, wherever you are. You know that it was from that relationship that leveraged into me landing my job. He literally coached me all the way. It's okay to interact. You don't know who your next helper will be. Network, meet people, build relationship, position yourself in some strategic places in your 20s to get those network and connection. I'm glad I did a lot of that. I'm not at the best, but I'm glad my makeup business could help me leverage on networking and building relationship as well as my career. Build that relationship. Guys, the next thing is from Ecclesiastes 3, but actually it is true. There is time for everything. That's the next thing I've learned in my 20s. There is actually time for everything. When I was growing up, I knew that there was time for me to study. There was time for me to go to church. There was time for me to make money. Like, there was time for me to do my master's, and I could just, like I've said it, balance it. But then again, one part of it that I want to talk about, time for everything, is when I came to Germany, I realized that, God, I want to be like these people. They wear like really nice stuff. They are doing really good. But I was just still doing my master's, which that is my own time. I've not gotten to this time. Now I can literally buy the best things for myself, right? I can do whatever I want to do. I used to look at people that say, oh, I'm traveling to this, or I'm going there. I'm like, you people are traveling. How are people having money for visa and all of those things? But I realized there was just time for everything. Just make sure that you are aligning with God's time. So in my 20s, I've also learned like self-doubt is normal, but don't let it stop you. When I was gonna get my new job, I was so scared of myself, like, oh my god, I'm working in a big organization, this, that. I was so in doubt of myself, and it's like maybe imposter syndrome or something. But don't, like, I just really learned that even though I'm self-doubting myself, which you should not allow to stop you, how can you do this? I learned to write on the wall and really kill my inner critic, because I realized that I was just really over criticizing myself and I was not even as bad as I thought. But I needed to kill my inner critic, and I do it a lot even in other areas of my life. Don't let self-doubt stop you from achieving all that you can become. Kill your inner critic. It's okay to be critical with yourself, but don't let it stop you. As much as possible, celebrate your wins. I do it a lot. I love to celebrate my wins. I remember when I graduated, I was going to buy myself one very expensive Nike Air Force. Hey God, I knew that was the most expensive shoe, but I needed to celebrate it. It doesn't have to be anything big or bougie, but just celebrate your little wins. And it doesn't have to be like a huge milestone. It could just be like little wins. Celebrate. The next thing I've learned is that, gosh, protect your energy. There are a lot of people that have negative energy out there. I'm a very bubbly person. I'm a very positive thinker. Protect your energy. Anybody that will not give you peace of mind, out. I protect my own energy a lot, and a lot of people tell me at work I'm a very positive thinker. I don't believe that something is impossible. I don't believe that things should, be like pull down things. That's my energy. If you understand your energy at all costs, I've learned that work with people that have similar energy strength with you. Leave the negativity for the people. Anything that will take away your peace of mind, bro, cut it up. So the next thing is work smart, not hard. I know that I worked really hard and not smart, which was not a smart move. Try to work smartly and not work hard. Make sure that you are not investing so much power in something that you could have done like with less energy and even get more. Guys, the next thing I've learned is not everyone would understand your journey, and it's okay. I mentioned it earlier, when I was going to learn makeup, I knew I liked it. I knew it was something I really loved to do. When I was small, I used to like paint for dolls, dress dolls up and everything. My mommy didn't understand why I needed to do makeup. A lot of people also said makeup is such a saturated business, don't do it, everybody has done it, like do something else that will bring you more money, but I still did it. Nobody would understand your journey apart from you, so it's okay if they don't get it. I remember when I was going to even do Scrum, somebody was advising me that time, my previous job, that no, don't do it, though. You cannot get a job that is top management role, that you just have a master's. It's very difficult and everything. They didn't understand the journey, but I saw the first time I can do this thing and I will do it. It doesn't have to be clear to anybody. It's okay to personalize your journey because it's actually a personal journey. One thing I would always say is, as far as it stands right with God, bro, you got it, you can do it, so go for it. Guys, this next one, pressure and comparison, is such a joy killer. I've learned in my 20s not to allow any form of pressure. I remember when I got to Germany, a lot of people had jobs, had not gotten a job, and then I started to compare, God, why have I not? And then I remembered myself, now you're putting yourself under pressure. God's timing is the best. Don't compare yourself. Different people's journey is just different. We are not, like I said earlier, it's a personalized journey. So whatever lane that they are on, if they're on the fast lane today, does not mean there's no chance for overtaking. But don't pressure yourself. Don't compare. What I used to do instead of comparing was like, this person is up here, that means I can also get there too. It's like a challenge for myself, but I'm not going to now start be envious of that person. No, what I do is like, how did this person get here? Then maybe it's something I can also do. Let me look at the process. How was it done? I did it. I won't even lie to you. I did it, and I had to report myself to God, like, God, I'm very sorry, because I was comparing myself, and I realized I became a very bitter person. Like, you just realize that for somebody else's joy, you are sad. Uncle, auntie, you're a witch. I called myself a witch when that thing happened to me, because I learned from them, like, God, I'm not supposed to be envious of this person. This person is happy, like genuinely happy, and you are sad because you don't have that thing happening in your own life. No. Be happy for others. Like, don't pressure yourself. Don't compare. You guys are on a different lane. Like, you're doing different things in life. Don't let any form of pressure or comparison ruin you or even take away your joy. Kill comparison and pressure. So the very fun one, when you're in your 20s, please enjoy your 20s. Enjoy, do things that makes you genuinely happy. I realized that traveling makes me really happy. It shifts my mindset. I enjoy traveling. It's my happy place, my happy thing to do. There was a time I could not afford it. I didn't do it. Like I said again, there was time for everything. But when the time came that I could afford traveling, I realized it was something I enjoy doing, something I love doing. People call me Ajala. I love it. Again, I realized that traveling often, when I get married and I have children, it becomes more expensive. And maybe there is not even going to be that time. Before you think about how to care for your child and your husband and all of those things, you would have bought mission of traveling. Enjoy, explore the world, do things that makes you happy. Finally, I've learned that becoming the best of myself is a lifelong thing. It doesn't end in my 20s. Right now, I've evolved, I've revolved. I'm still evolving. I'm not even yet at the best of my capacity or my potential, but I am gradually, daily embracing the journey and bringing out the best of myself each day, one at a time. So it's a lifelong journey, no pressure, no comparison. If you're not able to do something in your 20s, for example, yes, I've not been able to do some things in my 20s. It's okay. It's a lifelong process. In your 30s, you're going to do it. To be honest, I don't even know the wild things I want to do in my 30s because, hey, girl, talk to me, Teddy. Keep evolving, keep being the best of yourself. Guys, this is the end of my video about 20 things I learned in my 20s. I want to really know, let's really make this very conversational. Can you relate with the things I've said? Do you relate with any of the things I have said? Or if you're in your 20s, what are those things that you've learned so far? Or what are those things that you would actually like embrace that you can relate with from this video today? Let's make this very, very, very conversational. Please, I would like to see your comments and drop them because I'm going to be replying every single one. I want to know what you've learned in your 20s. And yes, I'm going to be 30 in a few days. Please drop some advice for me. What do you want me to do when I'm 30? What should I expect? Please, I'm still a baby girl at heart. Thank you. And nobody should tell me bring us bando. I will block you. I'm just joking, guys. But let me know if you have any advice for me for my 30s, and also what are those things you've learned in your 20s. Thanks so much for watching up till now. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Until the next time I see you, make sure you stay in purpose, make sure you keep enjoying yourself, make sure you stay happy. Jesus loves you, I love you too, and bye guys.